Hello, you festive bastards, and welcome to my so-called show. Well, it's Christmas Day, and while at times I can be a prick, I can also be a sentimental old fart. No, seriously, I have a heart somewhere, and even though I swear and talk as eloquent as a reality TV non-entity suffering a stroke, I'm going to leave you lovely Donna Reed ladies and Jimmy Stewart gentlemen with a Christmas present that you all deserve. Me boring your ass off about Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life. Released in February 1947, the movie starts off in a small town called Bedford Falls, where people are praying for a man named George, played by the legend that is Jimmy Stewart.
Help my son George tonight.
He never thinks about himself, God. That's why he's in trouble.
I love him, dear Lord. Watch over him tonight.
Please, God, something's the matter with Daddy.
Thankfully, God hears the prayers and calls for an angel named Clarence to help him out. Clarence is a second-class angel looking to earn his wings, but before he can proceed with his task, he must go through the life story of George Bailey that won't be used at the end of the movie for some emotional payoff.
Just kidding.
We go through George's life from the injury he suffered rescuing his brother from drowning to an optimistic 30-year-old looking teen yearning to travel the world. But things keep preventing him. His dad dies, meaning he has to take over his father's business as a way to keep that wanker Mr. Potter from dissolving the business. George later also falls in love with the lovely Mary, played by Donna Reed, who he then marries, which also puts his plans on hold. Even his opportunity to travel with her on their honeymoon is abandoned as their honeymoon money is used to keep his business from going under. George even manages to establish a housing development company where people can own their own homes free from Potter's grubby little fingers. Potter, realising George Bailey has him by the balls, decides to play nice in the hopes that Bailey will join him. George is tempted, but then he shakes his hand and starts feeling very, very dirty. So he tells him to fuck off like a boss.
I don't need 24 hours. I don't have to talk to anybody. I know right now. And the answer's no, no. You sit around here and you spin your little webs and you think the whole world revolves around you and your money. Well, it doesn't, Mr. Potter. In the whole vast configuration of things, I'd say you were nothing but a scurvy little spider. And that goes for you, too. And it goes for you, too.
Hey, I've only been here a few minutes. What's going on?
World War II comes along and George's injury prevents him from serving, while his brother Harry becomes a fighter pilot, preventing a kamikaze attack on a troop ship, resulting in him receiving the Medal of Honor. It's Christmas Eve, and while George is waiting for Harry to return for his hero's welcome, he has business to attend with the bank examiner, who is tasked to review the company's records. But later on, some money that Billy was supposed to deposit in Potter's bank goes missing because he's a drunk idiot. As it turns out, while giving Potter a good old roast, he accidentally misplaced it.
What a 42-carat plonker you really are!
Potter, discovering the missing money, decides to play a little game of stashing it in order to get one up on George Bailey.
You bastard.
George finds out and fearful of losing everything he works hard for maybe taken away from him, sinks into a deep depression. George goes home but grows more depressed as well as frustrated, even having it out with one of his daughter's teacher over the phone before taking his anger out on his family.
Janie, haven't you learned that silly tune yet? You play it over and over again. Now stop it, stop it!
Realising what he has done, he does what any self-respecting doomed man does. Seeks help from his enemy, Potter.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
But Potter tells him to go fuck himself, even telling George he is worth more dead than alive.
You once called me a warped, frustrated old man. What are you with a warped, frustrated young man? Miserable little clerk crawling in here on your hands and knees and begging for help.
What a wanker.
Potter tells George he's going to have him arrested, so George does something else a man must do when he's about to lose everything. Head to the bar for a nice stiff drink or two. He prays for a miracle, but the teacher's husband is also there and offers him a shot in the face. George crashes his car and then stumbles out and comes across a bridge and contemplates going for an icy swim to his watery grave. But before he can perform the dive bomb of death, some asshole jumps in before him. The bloody show-off. George goes in to rescue him, and while they're recovering, the show-off reveals to be an angel. In fact, the angel we saw at the beginning, Clarence. George casually goes along with it, even saying the world would be better if he was never born. Clarence gets an idea and decides to send him to a world where he never existed. His busted lip is healed as well as his damaged ear. And this is where the movie gets dark. Bedford Falls is now Pottersville. The town is turned into a cesspit of sleaze and debauchery. Actually that sounds fun, but moving on. In fact, no one knows who George is, and Frank Capra's harsh shadows really captures the misery of what Bedford Falls has turned into. Every good thing that George has built is gone. Even his brother's heroics never happened since George was never there to rescue him.
Your brother, Harry Bailey, broke through the ice and was drowned at the age of 9.
That's a lie. Harry Bailey went to war. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of every man on that transport.
Every man on that transport died. Harry wasn't there to save them because you weren't there to save Harry.
And his wife is a lonely old librarian who never married.
Mary, it's George. Don't you know me? What's happened to us?
I don't know. You let me go.
Mary, please. Oh, don't do this to me. Please, Mary. Help me. Where's our kids? I need you, Mary. Help me.
Thank fuck this was the 40s. If this was made today, she'd be, well, whatever the fuck these are. And this is one scene where idiots like to make the retarded claim that this moment is sexist. No, it isn't. It was already established earlier that Mary could never love anyone else but George, and to see her with some other Tom, Dick and Harry would have diminished everything that gave their relationship any meaning. Not only that, it's paying off a setup.
Why in the world do you ever marry a guy like me?
To keep from being an old maid.
You could have married Sam Wainwright and anybody else in town.
Well, I didn't want to marry anybody else in town.
She's an old maid. She never married.
Where's Mary? Where is she? Where is she?
She's just about to close up the library.
But thankfully, seeing all this gives George the hope to prevail. He prays to return to his own world, and when it does, he's happy as a man who's managed to convince Sydney Sweeney and Anna de Armas to get involved in... Actually, I'm not going to be so crude here, but he's very happy. He runs all over town, wishing everyone a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, George! Merry Christmas, George!
Merry Christmas, movie house!
I know I said I didn't want to be crude, but did he say booby house?
Merry Christmas, movie house!
I think he said movie house, but it sounds like he's saying booby house.
Merry Christmas, movie house!
But anyway, he storms in tired and bloody, but happy to see his family, not even caring he's about to be bunk buddies with some big bastard called Bubbles. Don't ask. And man, it's one of the most uplifting moments ever caught on screen. As it turned out, Mary called everyone in town, and because George was a motherfucking boss who sacrificed his own ambitions to help everyone, they all arrive at the house chipping in to help raise the money that will help save George from embezzlement charges. Even the Mardy bank examiner and the arresting officers chip in. It's a moment full of warmth. Everything George has sacrificed has all come full circle. The amount of passion everyone displays on the screen, the warmth, the goodwill, it just gets me every time. And everyone complaining about it being schmaltzy should shut the fuck up. The entirety of the movie was setting up this climax. And thanks to the smart writing, the great acting, it works. It's inspiring, heartfelt, and also leads to two moments that always hit me hard.
To my big brother George, the richest man in town.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right.
Attaboy, Clarence.
The movie ends, and for just 5 seconds, I can be a good man. I can feel like a good man. I can shut out the voices of the people I've been burning alive with my flamethrower. Just this once. Just for a few seconds. And for anyone complaining about Potter getting away with it, well, yeah, he never pays for his crime, but look at this scene. George gets to spend Christmas amongst family and friends. Potter's plans to have George imprisoned falls flat, and he spends Christmas alone, a bitter, contemptful old man with nobody to give his life meaning or hope. It's a Wonderful Life was and still is one of the greatest movies ever made. I cannot hate it. I really can't. Every time I sling this on, I'm always happy to be reunited with these characters. In fact, I'm happy to revisit this town full of these rich, likeable characters. There's a real sense of community that makes Bedford Falls feel like another character. And God, does it look even more inviting when drenched in Christmas. And it's all down to the actors, the smart writing, and the great directing. Jimmy Stewart is great as George Bailey. He's honest, likeable, and always there for anyone when they need it, but also sells the repressed regret of a man seeing his life pass by, while everyone else has gone on to bigger things. With no words, you can see he's trying his best to hide his pain and regret, and when he finally breaks down near the end, when he's about to lose everything, it's all the more heartbreaking. Donna Reed is also really likeable as George's wife Mary, and these two have mad chemistry. I want to eat these two up.
Alright, gay.
She's also one of the best movie wives ever. She's the one who calls everybody to help George, and is even willing to give up the honeymoon money just to help her husband keep his business. God, I love this fucking woman. That is a loving, caring wife. A real wife, not a selfish narcissist like... Lionel Barrymore is also great as the detestable Mr. Potter, and goddamn does he sell the pure bitterness of this absolute piece of shit. He's the type of prick who will possess your home over a torn-up $10 bill and really serves as a great antagonist to Stewart's George. If there's a guy that's guaranteed to turn your Christmas into a shit show, it's this miserable bastard. Fuck you, Potter. And finally, how can I forget Robert Carradine as Angel Clarence, who brings such a likability on screen. If this guy told me he was an angel, I'd believe him. He may not have an incredibly heavenly imposing figure, but he still has a warm presence, like an angel should. And there's a kindness to him that just makes him more endearing. It's a Wonderful Life sadly didn't do well on release, as it was over-budgeted and buried in an overcrowded market. Not only that, people were more drawn to realistic movies like The Best Years of Our Lives, as well as more light-hearted comedies, and I'm guessing the February worldwide release didn't help either. But thankfully in 1974, after it became royalty-free, it became a movie that would frequently be screened every year during the holidays, leading it to become one of the all-time classics. And even today, it manages to be as powerful and heartfelt as ever. It's the perfect movie to highlight the good in humanity, while delving in the dark side of humanity in order to only make us appreciate the good more. And okay, life is hard, life is tough, it's never fair, but that's what makes this movie so fucking good. It's there as a reminder that it's not all bad. It's how even the most seemingly insignificant of human beings can set a chain reaction of good that can impact a lot without realising it, bringing meaning from his actions alone. It's like that great line from Angel.
Nothing we do matters. And all that matters is what we do.
So overall, it's an uplifting, smartly written, haunting, yet inspiring classic. A perfect reminder that it truly is a wonderful life. And before I fuck off to the pub, I'm going to leave you beautiful bastards, whether you're Northern English or not, with one of the most beautiful words ever created. Merry Christmas, everyone.